How do you ask a person with anger issues why they're angry without making them angry? Don't ask why they're angry. Many times even they don't really know. They just have a vague idea that something is wrong. Usually some small issue that is just a catalyst that irritates and brings out the underlying anger from a real problem. Best bet is to just converse with them normally and don't poke obvious buttons. If they don't want to talk, they'll make it clear, and if they do get into venting about why they feel the way they do, just let them. Don't try to fix the problem. Just let them feel human for a minute. Fucks up with you? Scottish here, and we usually add a cunt on the end if we truly care about the person. You don't. As someone with anger issues, best option is to let them be. Or if they vent to you, let them vent without trying to offer advice or interrupt. That's what works for me, and has worked when I've had to deal with others. What if you live with that person and their anger issues make you anxious at all times? And you can't move out for at least 3 more months? Hey Grump, what's humpin' your bump? Probably my lovely lady dumps. I just want you to know that you don't have to put up with anyone treating you like garbage. Yeah, it may not be their fault, yada yada, but it probably isn't yours either. Some people can't be fixed, others could, but not by you. But regardless of all of that, you don't need to be someone's emotional punching bag. Just because someone has anger problems doesn't mean they are taking it out on other people. You can be a good person and still have problems. That's like getting mad at someone for having lupus or something. If they are taking it out on you, then that's a different story. You can't without making them more angry. What I do is lower my tone and make my voice sound reasonable, calm but firm. The quieter you talk, the quieter they will have to be to hear you. Try to guide the conversation to a lower decibel. Also, I'll make my words a little slower too. After a couple minutes, they realize they sound crazy and will chill out. That's good advice. As somebody who does get angry over little things, realizing I sound crazy usually starts to calm me down. Anger is often a byproduct of frustration or deep depression. You could ask about whatever is frustrating or making them sad. How is your job search going? Are you eating properly? Just open a conversation, it'll get there. I can see it now. How the fuck you think it's going? What are you, my mom's? I'd ask if something is wrong, and if they ask why, I'd say, I feel like something is bothering you and I was curious if it's something I can help with. Using the I feel makes it sound less confrontational. This is also important because it takes the accusation out of it too. People with anger issues look at anger as a bad thing, so telling them they are angry is telling them they are being bad in a way. Best to ask without assuming, or just ask if they want to talk. My parents put me in hockey and one day my coach farted next to me in the locker room and I threw up. How does that make you feel? When you calm down and figure out what's eating you, come talk to me. Then walk away. They can't have a conversation in that state. Leave them be so they can process the chemicals going on in their body. Tell them what you need to talk. Give them the boundaries and parameters, a calm, able to converse rationally state, plus putting in the self-reflection time. Get to safety. Chemicals. Anger can be a part of the fight, flight, freeze response. The body literally alters its chemical makeup as if it were time to take on the proverbial saber-toothed tiger. Once the danger is over, the body processes the unused survival chemicals and switches back to non-emergency mode. They aren't just calming down from intense emotion, they are shifting chemical states. If they're working on it, they are essentially learning how to catch and mitigate before the body is in full-on danger mode. If all this sounds like something you've seen in a Hulk movie, you're on the right track to understanding the back-and-forth transformation going on inside their body. Hulk smash is the wrong moment to ask what up. Understand that their secret is that they're always angry. A big green guy who'll be forever in our heart. You mad brother? They don't know and it isn't you. My advice is to distance yourself instead. Walking on eggshells around anger issues teaches people that others will manage their anger for them and that it's okay to get really angry around others for no apparent reason. Don't be an enabler. You don't ask why they are angry, you ask what makes you angry. Therefore you're learning what the triggers are and not asking why he is triggered. Just tell them to calm down. My wife loves it when I do that. Don't get angry, but I wanted to ask you why you get angry when someone asks you why you're angry. I was dating someone like this. She wanted to get married and I suggested some counseling first. Naturally she responded in an angry manner and I never saw her again. Slap them in the face and say, chill or angry, and they would stop being angry. Why was this NSFWD? No idea. Comment on their behavior, not their emotions. It's not worth it. I've tried it, they just got angry. You mad bro? Just hug them. Nope. Don't touch someone when they're angry and you have no clue why. That's asking to get punched. I'd recommend Googling mental health first aid. They have some good ideas about how to talk to people experiencing mental health breakdowns. Although it's not exactly the same, I think you might find it helpful. For example, they suggest asking, what's happened? Or, what have they done to you? Rather than, what's wrong? In this way, you are separating the problem from the person. Oh, another thing that might help is the bomb method. Be a loving mirror. There are some good podcasts with the author of the book, and heaps of articles. It's about talking to people about addiction. It's a way of talking without triggering the other person. It's super useful. I have anger issues and if I'm angry they usually say, what's bothering you? Or, is something wrong? Those questions work better than, are you angry? 'Cause you know quite obviously I am. Ask them if anything is wrong. But if you already do know something's up then try to cheer them up somehow. Or ask if they want to talk about how they feel. Anger issues aren't real, hear me out. It's just someone that has had enough of whatever is going on. So instead of being depressed they took the other route and get mad at everything because they can't be bothered dealing with that stuff. Depression is one of the biggest backing factors in anger issues. Developing anger issues intentionally to avoid being sad is a bad strategy. Learned that the hard way. Hey, anything you want to get off your chest? If not, it's all good. Just know you can talk to me about shit if you want to. Class 1A is scrolling through the comments for some advice, because Bakugo went wild with the explosions and the dorm's carpet isn't fireproof. I'd be angry too if my creator sat on my hero name for so long and ended up choosing something lame. He'll always be ground zero to me. You look like you want someone dead. I happen to also have the same desire. Wanna go swapsies and throw the detectives off? This right here. Just let them vent if they vent to you, but don't let this happen over a long period of time as it will drain you. If you have to walk on eggshells for something you have no idea about, walk away. You don't. Half the time we don't even know. I tend to think of my temper as like a small basket full of rocks. The basket is my temper and the rocks are the issues causing me to get pissed off. Other people's baskets have small holes in them, and over time the small issues fall out. The little things only bother them for a little while. The basket takes very big issues to overflow. Big rocks don't fall out of small holes. My basket doesn't have any holes, so all the little rocks just keep piling up and eventually my basket is full. Someone adds another small irritation, whistling, chewing with their mouth open, etc., and temper goes boom. There's no big issue or one definite reason for me to overreact like that. Everything just piles up into a bad mood. You don't. Ask them how they manage to be so cheerful. My BF has anger issues he's been working on for some time now. He's gotten a lot better as we got older. One thing I always try is to let him vent or be angry for a moment. Wait for an appropriate lull and then suggest we get or make food. About 7/10 times he's hangry. Sometimes he needs a nap. Sometimes he's stressed and ill. See if sex cheers him up. Sometimes you just have to listen. Once he's calmed down, usually revisit the topic that made him angry if it was anything in particular. Hey, what was going on earlier? Or something to that effect. The key is that they do indeed have to recognize they have anger issues in order to work through them. You can't work through those issues without their compliance. It's the fog. Next time he's done having a moment, if he has a hard time remembering exactly what happened, ask him if his head felt foggy in any way. That's how I feel when I get irrationally angry. Maybe he can relate. Just GTFO. It's rarely worth it dealing with a person blinded by anger. Depends on the person. My partner deals with problems that upset them by seeing things with an angry lens and they get irrational when they're at that point, so they will go on and on and on if you let them vent for too long. So I've learned that if they're just digging deeper and deeper into that irrationally angry hole, sometimes they need to have what they're doing reflected back at them. So if they're ranting and raving and start using "you" statements at me or finding reasons to keep the anger going, Instead of the problem, they're finding someone or something to be mad at instead. I meet their energy and reflect how they're being back at them. I'm not sure if it's because I'm not a person who reacts in anger, so it's out of character, but without fail it will stop them in their tracks. Within 5 to 10 minutes they can wind down and think clearly again, or even talk stuff through without the anger lens. Granted, we're married. We've been together for 12 years and we've learned how each other is. I know it's safe to do this. It might not be that way for everyone or work for everyone. Generally, best advice is to let them vent if you're up for being vented to. If you aren't, then they should hear that from you. They will calm down and fizzle out at some point, and sometimes best thing to do is leave them alone to sort it out for themselves. I'm not an angry person myself, but I love and have patience for angry people. I don't know why. You seem pissier than usual. I'm curious on what you dub an anger issue. I feel like anger is just an emotion, and I'm not sure why it's seen as an issue when it's expressed. I don't think anger is the issue. I think the issue is that you think it is. Anger is a perfectly healthy emotion to express. Instead of judging and criticizing, wait until the episode is over and talk to them like a human being. People with anger issues are angry all the time. They get angry over the smallest things, and don't try to resolve the issue calmly, only with more anger. They are only happy when you drop your life to make them happy, but after a while it's like they can't stand the happiness and go back to being angry. It is very stressful to live with someone like that. Normal anger expression isn't something people experience every single day, or even multiple times a week. You honestly don't ask them about their anger. Most of the time there's another emotion there. They either don't have the tools to understand there's something else wrong, or actively don't know how to use the tools. Don't talk about the anger. Probably don't talk too much at all. Ask them what they smell or what they see. It reroutes them. Assuming they're not so blind in anger, they rage at you for asking. Stan, why are you so mad? Try to understand that I do want you as a fan. I'm willing to bet you $1 million they don't even know why they're angry. First, don't assume they are angry. You may be reading into their behavior based on your, likely justifiable, past experiences in dealing with them. Avoid questions with loaded assumptions. Questions like, why are you angry? Or, are you angry with me? Assume the person is angry. Instead, ask, you seem upset about something. Are you okay? The first kind of question makes it clear you are concerned about how the other person's attitude is affecting you. The second makes it clear you are concerned about the other person, not yourself.
Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.